about him referring to that as a bailout?
No, I didn't discuss that with the president. Look, first, I believe, and I said at the time, I was consistent, the last bill that they passed that only did small business help, and everybody supported small business help, should have included state and local. Now, when you say state and local, there's no personality to state and local. I get that. Don't say state and local. Say what the state and local governments fund: police, fire, teachers, hospital workers. Fund small business, but also fund police, fire, school teachers, and hospital workers. How can you exclude them when you're talking about priorities? Yes, small business is a priority. So are police, fire, school teachers, and hospital workers. I don't know why they passed a bill without including that at the time. And I said that. I said it to my congressional delegation. Everybody said, oh, don't worry, that'll be in the next bill. Yeah, but that was the third time they said that'll be in the next bill. And pardon me for being suspicious about Washington politicians, but don't worry. When I hear them say don't worry, I worry deep inside. So they passed the small business bill. As soon as they pass it, by the way, before they even pass it, they turn around and say, oh, and I don't want to do state and local. And forget the police, and forget the fire, and forget the school teachers, and forget the healthcare workers, which is a totally different tune than they said just 2 days before when they were actually trying to pass the bill. Because if they had said that before, they would have never passed the bill. So we are where we are now. Bailout. This is not the time to be talking about dollars and cents among members of a community that are trying to be mutually supportive and help each other, because helping each other is the way we actually all advance, right? So this is not the time to be saying, well, you put in $1 more than I did, or I put in $5 more than you did, right? It's anachronistic to the concept of community and sharing and mutuality and sharing benefits and burdens, right? I'm wearing a mask to protect you. You're wearing a mask to protect me. That kind of sharing and mutuality is repugnant to this bailout, you got this much, I got this much. But if you want to go to who's getting bailed out and who paid what, nobody would be bailing out New York State. New York State has been bailing them out every year for decades. If you want to do an analysis of who is a giver and who is a taker, we are the #1 giver. The #1 giver. Nobody puts more money into the pot than the state of New York. We're the #1 donor state. And if you want to look at who happen to be the donor states, who are the giver states, they are the same states that they're talking about now. Who are the taker states? Kentucky, southeast part of the country. And by the way, I understand we're one nation. You put into the pot what you need, I put in what I need, you take what you need, you take what you need. And that's the way it's always been. But if you actually want to call for an accounting, which I think is repugnant to this time, and I don't think it's constructive, and I don't think it's healthy, but if you want to call for an accounting, you're making a mistake. because you lose if we do an accounting. You lose. And you happen to be 180 degrees wrong in what you're suggesting.
So that phrase bailout is not helpful, you would say?
I would say first, at this moment in time, when people are working together and people are sharing and people are sending ventilators across the nation to be helpful and 60,000 people are volunteering to help New York State, and they're showing love and they're showing unity and they're showing mutuality and community. That is such a beautiful moment, right? And it tends to happen after a crisis. We saw it after 9/11. People just come together. We're Americans first. We're not Democrats, we're not Republicans, we're not East Coast, we're not West Coast, we're not Northern, we're not Southern. We're just Americans. That is such a beautiful, special moment. To now say in the middle of that moment, who owes what to whom? What? You want to talk about money now? This is not about money. It's about working together and helping and sharing, and people are dying, and it's about grief, and it's about comfort. It's not about money. But if you want to make it about money, you're making a mistake, because you're going to lose on a tally sheet, and it's not even going to be close. But you want to tally up who owes what to whom? Go ahead. It's not even close.